It's still wild. I have to be the first person to talk. Hello, everyone. Hello, girls, gays, and ghouls, and welcome to Tabletop Titties, Titties by Night. We are a show composed entirely of people of marginalized genders, and we are here to tell a terrifying, funny, a little bit of both, tale of, urban shadows, volume one and a half ish, two's on its way. It's almost out. We'll get there one day. I am your host of hosts, Dare. My pronouns are she, they, and Faye, and I am going to actually, I'm going to bring the mood down for a second to be serious and do a land acknowledgement because I do want to make sure we do address both America and Canada's history of colonialism and the damage done to Indigenous people. And I'm going to let you know that I am coming to you live from the lands of the Ute, Cheyenne, and Life and Apache people. And then I'm going to throw it to my ever lovely, ever wonderful cast of characters. And I'm going to start, of course, with Shar.
Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Bear. I use she, they pronouns, and I have recently moved. And I am right now streaming on the Kenyan Kehat Nation's lands, so the Haudenosaunee Confederacy and the Anishinaabe peoples. And in Urban Shadows. I now play the Oracle, but still, that's just Octavia Miller, the Tremere, quote unquote.
Hey everybody, my name is Rachel Theilade. My pronouns are she, her, and I am streaming from the territories of the Semiahmoo, Katie, Coquitlam, Kwantlen, Kakate, and Tawasin First Nations. And tonight I am playing Maxine Dracula. She's the vamp in this game, but also you could call her Demetsi. How do you say it? I don't know. It's just something I am. It's no big deal. And her pronouns are she, her.
OCO everyone, I am CasperDaNBGhost. I am playing on the stolen lands of the Muskogee and Cherokee. And I am playing Billie Theory, who is the wolf. Anybody who knows me is not surprised. They go by any pronouns.
I love that it's just the wolf. I mean, they're all like the something, but like the wolf. Very very perfect for you. Hello everybody, my name is Katrina. You can also call me Kat. I use any pronoun, and I'm currently streaming from the lands of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh First Nations Coast Salish people. Tonight I am back as Abbigail Summers. I got a cute little vest on. And Best twins. Yeah, you started it. Truly, I'm just copying. I'm just a fan. And she is our aware / well, not multi-classing, but Ravnos. Not multi-classing, kind of multi-classing, right?
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Kelly. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm coming at you as well from the stolen lands of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples. I've also recently moved, so it will take a little bit for me to get the pronunciation right. But I am playing Riley, the Spectre, and he, she, they's pronouns are he, she, they. Also, I may have fixed my green screen, which I realized was basically I just had to make the camera recognize my porcelain skin.
Yay!
Yes.
So yeah, that's me.
Oh yeah, it's time, everybody. I get to tell you about one of my favorite little guys, which is I pulled up the wrong ad read, which is very funny.
Is this part of the ad?
No, it's not. I just I think I missed. I mean, free plug, not really, but like I'll throw it out there. I pulled up Elderwood Academy. I guess I just missed them so much. They were our sponsors for the other half of our season. Still great, still love them, but I have a new love. I'm scrolling. I'm gonna do it.
Just trying to make them jealous. Be like, I miss them, but I have a new love.
I mean, I could probably do it via the memory, but the memory, it's not that kind of show. That's talking titties.
I mean, the memory works. The memory works.
Yeah.
We're here. Okay, this ad read is for Good Berry Dice. Trying to find that perfect set of gaming dice? Well, look no further than Goodberry Dice, your one-stop shop for unique and high-quality dice sets. The folks at Goodberry Dice believe in nourishing your gaming experience with dice that sustain your passion and embrace your imagination. Whether you're a seasoned dungeon master or a budding sprout, head to goodberrydice.com for beautiful dice sets that will nurture your fantasy and let your creativity bloom. The Tiddies all received beautiful dice. I've got 2 sets here. Oh, I have to do the influencer thing where you put them like this. Oh, this one is chunky.
Feels very Power Rangers.
Cute. And we all have our D6s for this game. And we love them. Also, great customer service. If you send them a message, they will answer you and are very kind. So give them a clicky, a little visit. One more time, that's goodberrydice.com. And we love them. Good to paradise, good to paradise. I was scatting before during the thing, so I wanted to throw it in there. Oh, that felt good. Not embarrassing at all.
If you want to hear more of Cat scatting, maybe we'll get them to record something for us to upload into Sirenscape, which
Oh,
we use to help make our streams more atmospheric.
Very atmospheric.
They have a free and pro version. Check it out at Sirenscape.com. They also have some pre-made sound sets in there and a lot of really, really great stuff. And also, if you're joining us live on Twitch right now, thank you so much for supporting the show. You can also support the show even more if you have Amazon Prime by using your Amazon Prime sub. I just wanted to remind you that it resets every month, so make sure you click that so that it supports these big old titties instead of Jeff Bezos. Or you can also subscribe with your regular hard-earned dollars. You get emotes.
yeah.
It's great. Lots of
You
good
could be
stuff.
like cool people who do Prime subs, like me, Dare Hickman, right here, the lovely GM.
Hey, you know what else is really cool and supports us is heading on over to our merch store at tabletoptitties.threadless.com. If you enjoy our shows and you want to like support us or something and you want to like show your support in the world, you can go and buy lots of merch because it's over there. You can just buy it right now. You should go do that. We have t-shirts, we have a bunch of cool logos that we've had in the past, current character art, all that stuff is all up there. And we always have sales up there, so you always get a good deal. And it's super awesome. And you will be able to be a proud Titty Committee member out in the real world. And just show everybody the love that you show us every day at tabletoptitties.threadless.com. And when we say titties, it is with double D's.
Ow.
Woo!
Powerful. All right. And on to me with content warnings. This week I'm expecting it to be a light one. So the ones I'm expecting are violence, supernatural events, the concept of immortality and discussions around death, organized crime, and we don't have bees yet. One day we'll have bees again.
We do have the
Maxine's gotta
bees
go find
knees.
a jar of bees just to
Gosh
have.
darn it.
like-
We're gonna have to find bees.
But I suppose I think I'm good to begin, right? Just the recap of what happened last time.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All right. I wrote down notes in the 5 minutes before we went live. So last time on Titties by Night, our lovely intrepid IOU took a little boat ride, and they woke up to find that they were not in general Victorian times and found themselves in 1920 static, an impossible to know year between the years of 1920 and 1929. Who can say? They were met and intercepted by a lovely group of ne'er-do-wells feels a little harsh, but a group known as James and the Boys, led by the aforementioned James, a sort of group of street tough humans who are not really worried about the monstrous threats and are simply kind of ready to throw down if people are ready to give them an opportunity. But they were generally well-meaning. Octavia did manage to sort of read a bit into the mind of James, as Octavia's one to do, and notice that James at least has some connection to some sort of shadowy human-centric group. We don't know too much about that quite yet, but mysteries abound in this new city. as our IOU was led to the city, they meet with, the resident liaison to the night, Giovanni of the Giovanni family. Yes, that one. But they're not a big fan of the British side, family drama. Gio managed to be a pretty gracious host, letting the IOU sort of sit for a while, giving some pamphlets and giving a bit of the breakdown of what's changed and what life is like in the city now. Around that exact same time, we see our other set of lovely, colorful characters. Resident little guy Billie, maybe the most delusional in love woman I've ever met, Maxine Dracula, and the ghost for Goss, our lovely Riley. And those three were all kind of, sort of, in one way or another, voluntold or just really curious about these newcomers to the city. And as they made their way over, had a moment to really meet and decided the first place to go was to was it the Tooth and Claw? I'm pretty sure it's the Tooth and Claw. Beautiful.
Nail.
Tooth and Nail. Damn it. I was so close. I was like, okay. The Tooth and Nail, one of, if not the premier, speakeasy led by the resident werewolf. As everyone was sort of getting into the merriment, enjoying their time, deathly silence fell over as a courier made their way in. Spoke, I don't remember if they said anything. It's been a minute. And left a small little gift for the IOU. Riley at that point decided to follow the courier, while the rest of the IOU followed the address listed on the message they were received, to which they found in a small, kind of unassuming alley, a perfect replica of the IOU building that they left behind. And then the sun set on the sun rose on our beloved group, as we had one final moment. A group of people who are sort of in the hunt for immortality, and the new apple of their eye, Marguerite. But yes, I think we're ready to go. There's no video, pew, pew, pew yet, right?
No, not yet.
Beautiful. Want to make sure.
Getting new art. It'll be here soon.
I love that it still makes its way in, though. The second has to.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we find ourselves pretty much where the sun rose, and then we see the sunset. But something's a little different. Seems like time has passed, and we find ourselves a month removed from last time we checked in with our lovely group. What has everyone done in this month? We've had a chance for people to start staking a claim, making themselves known, or known once again. Does anyone want to go first?
I literally had a to-do list.
You did.
This is why we love you.
Because I was gonna say I probably would have helped you with some of them, because I feel like Maxine sees these people as, like, Giovanni was like, these people were important in London, they'll probably be important here. So now I'm like, ooh, and also they knew Dracula, so I'm like, ooh, if I help them, I'm gonna be in good favor with all the things are gonna line up for me. So I'm like, what do you need? I got you. I'm gonna help, and then you'll have my back when the time comes. It's all good. Don't worry about it. So if you want to know where the magic people are, I got you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and that's on my list. So we definitely took some time. I think first off, Octavia would spend some close moments with her father, Peter, just because he's only been a vampire for like a day,
What a day
It's his first week.
And so most of my time would be with Prophet and my dad, but teaching him the ropes. But then I would spend some time with Maxine, getting her to guide me through the city, specifically so that I can learn a bit more about how things work here in terms of the treaties and the sort of hierarchies that we need to be familiar in this new city compared to how it was working in London. Um, she mentioned, the magic people to me a few times, and I'm not really sure what that means, but I would love to find out.
Of course.
Well,
Oh.
what do you mean you don't know what the magic people? It's the like wizards and stuff. Like there's a
I've
bunch of
never
different
met a
types of magic
wizard.
people. You don't have magic people in London?
I would say I'm one of the most magical, and even then, I wouldn't really call it magic.
That's weird. It's very weird.
Now that I am used to.
And I just like kind of drag her towards the like place. I'm like, okay, well, it's over here.
Yeah. I think this gives us a wonderful time to talk about one of the main hubs. Octavia, you are most prominently of the Circle of Power, dedicated often to immortals, mages, generally oracles, all of the weird magic-y folk. And we find ourselves at the university. I think what you see stands before you a large building, a large, many-windowed building, one that seems by day a pretty ordinary university. There are little lion figure statues on the outside of it. I think, what shall I name it real quick?
Mhm.
I think for now we'll simply call it the university. I think I like that a lot. But at the university, the second you arrive, I think especially because you tend to be tapped into this sort of thing, Octavia, you can immediately feel there is power here. I think there's already just sort of like your skin immediately begins to feel it, almost like the temperature were to drop just sharply by about 10 degrees the second you get close enough to it. I think you almost taste just a touch of the arcane.
I do see what you mean, Maxine. It is palpable, the auras and energies of this place.
Yeah, I just call it weird. That's just what it is. It's weird. But yeah, exactly. You get it. Well, do you want to go in and meet people or?
Are you familiar with the folks inside?
Oh, absolutely not.
Well, then perhaps we can meet them together. And I grab your arm and I push
Oh, is it for
forward through the
something
doors.
new?
All right. Yeah, I think there are, leading up to the main door of the university, there are a couple of steps. There's also a ramp right next. So whatever is your preference, they are accessible. They're magic and they care. But you find your way in the front door, and for Maxine, you immediately see this place isn't what you'd expect. Almost as if a different location by night. Maxine, do you know what a university or college is supposed to look like?
I think so.
Okay, so it doesn't look like that.
Okay.
I think immediately the walls seem to almost stretch on forever. You find the ground you're stepping on almost a checkerboard black and white tile that if you look at it a little too long, you can't tell if it's moved or not. It just constantly seems to be shifting ever so subtly. As you
Get my little
see,
sippy cup. I'm like, maybe I had a little bit too much of this tonight. I don't know.
and I think as you look at these like elongated walls that seem to go on forever, that a feeling, there is a general feeling of being watched the second you step inside. There are paintings that line the walls, almost, I think there are busts that also line it with various staff, faculty, former well-vaunted members, some stone, some of bronze, some of gold. I think if you were to look, you would see those are generally divided by people who currently work there, donors, well-regarded members of the community, and then former headmasters in that encased in gold. And I think when you begin walking, it almost feels aimless. And that sense of aimlessness goes on for about 3 minutes before you find yourself in front of a door. You don't know if you took a turn or if you walked or if you were really even going anywhere. But you find yourself in front of a door. And this door reads, the Oracle.
It's like this building knew where we needed to go this whole time. We've arrived. And I just open the door and I let Octavia walk in. I like kind of like touch her shoulder in terms of like, you can go in first because I am escorting you to connect you with your people.
Thank you, my dear. And Prophet and I head on in.
Yes. Maxine, are you still going in as well, or are you going
Oh
to
yeah,
stand
I'll
on the
come in.
outside?
Yeah, I'll just
Okay.
come in behind.
Perfect. Okay. I think in you find, almost despite the sort of pomp of the walk here and the door, I think what you see is someone who looks quite normal. I think you see a sort of younger, full-figured woman. Her hair is mostly black with touches of green in it. Large, like circular glasses. And I think she's almost like reading something. I think it is absentmindedly, just like an encyclopedia, as she sort of looks up. Oh, uh, you're new here, correct?
Yes, I've just arrived at the city, what must be 2, 3 weeks ago. Maxine was lovely enough to lead me here. A dear friend of mine. Although,
I curtsy. A pleasure.
Yes, you're the and I think she like snaps and almost Maxine, you see this, almost if she was like trying to find a frequency, tunes in as she looks to you. You're the one who's in love with Dracula, right?
Well, of course, who isn't in love with Dracula? I say, trying to keep it cool and not very concerned that you knew who I was right away.
I mean,
Take another
many
sip of
people
whiskey.
aren't in love with Dracula. I think the prince who died, some was it 40 odd years ago, wasn't a fan. You can, I think, by looking at this woman, see she does not look 40 years old. So
Mm-hmm.
just a thing she knows.
forgive me, you definitely seem very in tune with people and with this place. I'm probably going to use the wrong language here, but I'm hoping to find folks similar to myself in that they are Tremere in nature.
Hmm. And once again, I think you hear almost a soft like noise letting you know that she heard you, but she's never quite giving anyone undivided attention. Uh, Tremere. They're the magical vampires, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Perhaps there may have been someone over the past 40 or so years that did arrive before me, also seeking fellow Tremere.
Hmm.
Rita?
Okay. I'm gonna see if there's any moves that you can take to sort of not convince her to like tune in to look more, but convince might be the right word
There is
still,
persuade
honestly.
an NPC.
Yeah, I think that is what I would ask you to roll today. First roll of the night.
Can I lend a hand? Because that's also a move, is that not? Be like, hey, this person's really cool. You should definitely help them out.
Yeah. I would say roll to lend a hand first.
Okay. Oh, hold on, I'm reading it. When you lend a hand or get in the way a PC is rolled, roll with their circle. So are we rolling night because it is nighttime, or is this a different one? Sorry. I'm big
Your
dummy.
circle is night because
Yeah,
you are a vampire.
cool. Okay, so 2. Oh, I got a 6 and a 4.
Ooh.
Okay, that is a 10. That is,
Heck yeah.
yeah, you did it.
I did the thing.
And I think so. You will be getting a +1 to this, Octavia, as you roll to persuade.
Hell yeah, because I have -1 heart. So thank you, Maxine, for negating that. I crit 2 6s.
Love wins.
Rita!
Okay. So exactly what is your pitch as you try to get her to specifically give you information, not just about the Tremere, but specifically Rita?
I think I'm gonna be honest and say she is, quite frankly, my dearest love, and I've been unfortunately whisked away by the sea for quite some time. I was supposed to arrive in this area about 30 years prior, and she was supposed to meet me here. I've yet to be able to make contact. Anything that you could do to help would be extremely,
sweet.
extremely well received.
How could you say no to someone like that? Chasing their true love, their dreams. You gotta help them out.
I think almost at the theatrics of Maxine, combined with the legitimate sincerity of Octavia's request, there's almost a look that softens. As I think for the first time, and I think you can even sense this because there is power emanating from her, that she is actually looking at you fully and trying to see you in totality. Let me see what I can do. And may I have your hand? And she like extends a hand out. And
Of course. And I'll just pull at each of my fingertips, removing my long white glove to better enforce the connection.
I think she takes your hand, and it feels soft and warm, almost like it's sort of giving back the sincerity you put forth. And I think you see this sort of, or there's this sort of energy that flows into her as this room sort of takes almost a full green hue. I think there was candles like sort of in the back, and the candles immediately alight with a green flame as she then begins to speak. The one you love has moved on. Not in the way you were expecting, but your love has moved on physically. And then like almost snaps back into her body. Okay. So that's gonna sound bad, I think is the first thing she says. Fortunes, the oracles, the things I see and give aren't exactly something you should take literally. Sometimes they are more of a riddle and a metaphor. So I don't think it's bad news. It just sounds like bad news.
Definitely quite concerning. My own powers themselves don't seem to be working quite the way I'm used to now that I'm on this, well, not exactly a new plane, but definitely a new country, a new continent. I think I'll need some time to decipher this properly.
Yes, of course. And if you ever need anything else, I will offer. Of course, most of the time I do require something in return. I hate to do business, but if I could just give everyone fortune for free, everyone would bother me more.
Yes, this was ironically my own business back in London as well. I completely understand. Thank you so much for your assistance. And Maxine and the Oracle can probably see Octavia blotting blood red tears with her glove before putting it away in one of her little satchel pockets.
It's all right. If they're a ghost, we have ghost friends here. It's okay. We can find them.
I certainly hope she isn't a ghost, but thank
I
you.
didn't mean to make it worse. I'm sorry.
I just pet my dog.
I should be quiet. I just
This is a
drink water.
bad day.
I think add noticing the way your spirit drops. I think before you get a chance to leave, almost like a sigh of like, I'm breaking my own code here. As she sort of says, well, if you happen to not have any reason or way of giving favor quite yet, I could always use an assistant oracle or an assistant seer, as it were. Someone to handle the low level requests. So I'm not offering you a job per se, but if you help me, I'll be able to still help you in your hunt for love for no charge.
Oh,
Internship.
thank you. I'm never one to look a gift horse in the mouth. I accept.
Of course, and I will recommend staying away from gift horses. They will kill at least 3 people in this town in the next 2 weeks.
Understood. I don't think I caught your name.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Just got right to business. The name is Della. And she just sort of says it pretty plainly. I think despite this sort of air around her powers, she is trying her best to seem relatable and normal.
My deepest pleasure having the chance to meet you, Della. I would be quite happy to be your assistant.
Of course. Have you finished getting your bearings? I know it's been a whole new world for you, but I don't want you to start with work immediately.
Thank you. Well, Maxine has been doing quite an excellent job as my tour guide. But she did mention that one of her blind spots, as it were, was the occult and magical of nature. So perhaps that would be something that you would be best to take on.
Of
So
course.
glad
I'm-
I've helped make this connection with for both of you.
I think she like smiles softly and says, Maxine does unfortunately have a tendency to miss obvious things. And like almost she snapped back to her body again as if she was not quite in charge of saying that. But sorry, sometimes being around people long enough makes many, many projections happen.
All right, I'll allow it this time. I drink.
But yeah, you've made a new connection, a new friend, may I say, in the city. I think I will hop over to somebody else who may be interested in what they have going on.
First things first, the day after everyone shows up, Riley immediately goes to the ghost school, tells everyone about the new arrivals, tells everyone about this Marguerite that's shown up, new faction trying to gain immortality. There's a ship out on the beach called the Marge Barge, if people want to go claim it. Just like too much information, maybe. And then the real goal that Riley will have is this Abbigail person seems to be from New York. So my goal is to find out as much about them as possible and why she left, why she's back, and what happened while she was gone. So I'm going to be trailing behind whatever Abigail is doing for a little bit. See if they make any contact with people who they maybe knew before leaving. They make any deals or what their general vibe is in the city now that they're back after 40 years.
Damn.
wonderful and terrifying.
So creepy. What
Then-
the fuck?
I'm going to ask, do you want to focus on your day then, or should we just jump over to Abigail? Because I think
You can
Might
switch
be
to Abigail
both.
and then imagine that Riley's in the background, and I'll just show up at some point.
yeah, whatever you need to interject, whatever you're doing, let me know. But yes, Abigail, the ball has been kicked to you.
I love it. Great. I think that one of the first things I imagine Abigail has a little New York City montage, you know?
Yeah.
She's kind
I
of
mean-
back, excited. It's been a while. She's hoping maybe everybody's dead that's ever wronged her.
Yeah.
Really, it's like she steps out into the night and goes, ha, kicks her little feet up in the air and goes, wee, is very excited to be back, maybe?
Yeah, no, it's been simultaneously both about what, a couple of weeks and 40 years at once
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for the latter. So very in tune to like kind of running around. I think every day she goes for a different kind of run. Yeah, I'd say run. A nice little casual jog. I feel like yeah, not to bring too much attention to herself, but just to like get a good feel of the city, what's still kind of there. Like probably some buildings look the same, but a lot has changed. Tries to check out if her old favorite deli is still standing.
Okay. I'm going to ask, which hub would you think and say the deli is in?
Ooh, let me look. I have 80 tabs open because
Don't
I'm a
worry,
boomer.
I can describe them.
Okay.
The Mortalis hub, the one that normally hosts most of the humans, is City Hall. So it could be adjacent in the general area of like City Hall and a lot of the government buildings. It could be in near the university, much like the hub of power. It could be in the hub of night, namely the downtown area that is full of 1,000,001 speakeasies and a lot of small dives. Or it could be sort of in the art district, where it's just the hub of the wild. It's where you're going to see a lot of the fae and the imps and a lot of the strange stuff over there.
I kind of feel like this is going to be a hot take, but I feel like it's going to be a sweet City Hall deli, you know? It's picked
Okay.
it's picked a spot right close to where they're going to get a high traffic. They want the
Okay.
grumpy everyday 9-to-5ers. That's what they want.
Okay. I think. Do you have a name in mind for this deli?
Sal's.
All right.
That sounds like a real deli.
Sal's Deli.
Listen, we're not wasting any time with any fancy names
Oh,
here.
Just
beautiful.
put your
Sal's.
name, Sal.
Yeah.
What do you need more than 3 letters for? What do you need? Wasting my time. What do you want? What do you want? It's one of those places.
Yeah, I think you see almost, despite it being, night, I think you see as you're walking through City Hall, a lot of this area is not that active, right? This is a very human-centric part of the city. So a lot of the lights are low. A lot of, you see a couple of apartment buildings or bigger like built skyscrapers, or maybe one or two like lights on in the city hall that point outside. This is generally a place that is not one that you were meant for. You see a couple of humans sort of walking around, some mostly trying to hustle to get home, or a couple of people who are clearly, despite there being a prohibition happening, clearly they've tied a couple on and are sort of having a good time yelling.
Nice.
But in all of this, you also see a dingy neon sign.
Ooh.
You see it sort of blinking between like active and dying, and despite the fact that neon was invented like 10 to 15 years ago, like, and
Hey.
despite all of that, it says you see Sal's Diner open 24/7.
Oh God. I wish I could eat food, but alas, she says this out loud. Just like do. But I kind of want to like take a peek through a window if I can, even though it's kind of creepy, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling confident, feeling
Okay.
sneaky,
I
casual.
love when people feel confident. Okay, I'm going to say you should be able to do that. I think you head over to the window, and it is exactly what you'd expect. How old? What? All right. Was Sal in charge of Sal's deli?
Absolutely.
Okay. How old was Sal?
And of course,
you...
his wife, who was really in charge of Sal's deli.
How old were they?
Probably like early 40s.
Okay. I think you see
How long
an old man still there. I think you see he is, I think, both old and comfortable in this. I think there is maybe one or two younger people as well, sort of working like a grill. And I think that's another thing you notice. It is still a deli, but they've expanded the menu looking through. There is like a grill. They are serving things like burgers as well now. And as you look inside, I think you do happen to maybe, just maybe, you have an eye for the supernatural. You're also supernatural. Maybe you notice one or two people who are definitely not human here, sort of enjoying themselves.
Whoa.
Whether you consider that an open invitation to let yourself in, that's up to you.
You know, can I see what they're are they consuming?
Yeah, I think. Is there a role to I gotta see if there's a role to like not look suspicious as hell. I'm gonna give me a
Just
keep
like
your
me
cool.
against the window. Just like eyeing somebody's dish, you know, those people that walk past and they're like,
Yeah, give me a keep your cool roll.
oh, I'm excited to do
So
that.
yeah, roll with spirit.
Okay. Come on, first roll of the game. That's a 10. A 5 and a 4 plus a 1. 10.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's because people are just not expecting to be spied on. It's the middle of the night. Anyone who's at a diner late at night is not really trying to think about the world around them. So I think you managed to just peer in and you absolutely see. Yeah, it looks like maybe a couple of people who might be, at least one of them looks like a werewolf. I think you can see sort of almost like, not like the full snout, but like someone who is clearly like fighting with like the amount of wolfiness in their body. And I think you also get a small, distinct hint of sulfur to the person sitting next to them or across from them, sort of letting you know this someone might be a bit of an imp or a demon in some way.
It smells like fats.
But yeah, they're eating what looks to be normal food.
Crazy. I think still being like kind of fresh. I think about going in for a second and then I take a step back and realize that Sal is still alive, which means a very good amount of people that I might know are also still alive. And I think as that realization comes to me, my smile fades, my pep in my step falls, and I begin to feel like I might shit my pants. I don't.
I'm gonna add to that by taking a couple moments to make myself both heard and seen next to Abigail. Just like appearing, and again, it's almost like that thing where it's like it looks like a shriveled sort of corpse appears next to you, and then just like rapidly heals into a person. And then I just sort of like clutch my side bag. You're not gonna go in?
Oh, What? Why you? What?
What?
How long and why? And also, ow! I don't know. What?
It's been about 2 weeks. You should pay attention more.
What do you mean? What? Can you? Do I need? Can I buy special glasses to see you, or
I don't know. Most people are able to sense me when I'm near them. I think you went for a run, even though your body doesn't need to exercise, and
Well,
you basically just been wandering the town, and then you come to this diner and don't go in. So I was kind of getting bored. So
oh, well, I'm real sorry that my life isn't exciting enough to you, and you aren't a fan of athletics.
I thought you were gonna go talk to like an old gang or like your parents or something.
Well, why would you even care?
'Cause why not?
What?
What?
What is happening?
Well, Octavia kind of knows when I'm around, and I'm afraid she's gonna disappear me. And well, Billie, I kind of got Billie, and if Billie catches me again, they're gonna try to beat me up some more. So
So,
you were kind of
you
my
just-
last option.
Did you think that maybe we could just hang out? We could just talk, grab, some, I don't know what ghosts. I'm sorry. I don't know what you eat, but we could do something. We could go look at the ocean. I don't know.
It's the same.
What?
Do you want to hang out?
Sure.
Okay.
Abigail, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
When you were startled, did you let out a yell?
absolutely.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Remember when I rolled for keep my cool?
Yeah, no. So I think what happens,
Mm.
and you didn't see this. I think almost like we see a small like picture-in-picture as Sal sort of hears the yelling and then realizes there's just like someone standing out there. And Billie, you weren't, or not Billie, Riley, you weren't visible, correct?
I'm heard and seen, so people just can't touch me.
Okay, cool. I think you see Sal sort of go to the back and just you almost see like a number being dialed. And then I think a few minutes pass while you were having that conversation, sort of figuring out what you're going to do. I think you feel a crossbow to your back, Abigail. Like right in the middle. Pretty much it would go right through your back, through your heart.
That's awesome.
If it were fired.
Yeah.
And I think you just hear someone say, I don't know if you're new here, but we generally don't take kindly to vampires sort of stalking the diner for a quick snack.
I turn around. Can I see who's speaking?
I think you try to move first, and then you hear like almost a mechanism start to click as it is readying.
I'm gonna tilt my
so you could
head to
turn
the
around.
side, and try to look past Abigail to see who it is behind her.
So, how well do you? What am I talking about? This is Riley. Riley, you know who this is. You've heard tell. This is Crow.
Crow?
Yes, Crow is maybe the hunter of the city hall area. The hunter of like the Mortalis circle. Sort of. No one quite knows the nature of what Crow is. No one's gotten that close to know. But most people know Crow as somebody who shows up when things start getting really tense or a member of the night is starting to act up a little too much in polite human society. So yeah. this is not a good person to be uh you know face to face with.
You're oh boy, Abigail, don't move, please. Um, Crow, right?
That's what they call me.
Yeah. Sorry. Um, you, you're not gonna want to hurt this one, probably. Uh, they're kind of under protection right now, and I understand that it looks kind of weird that a vampire is scoping out a generally non-vampire diner, but you have to understand they're under protection from some people you probably don't want on your bad side.
I think, and let me describe Crow a little bit more because their entire face is essentially covered by, I think, a mask going up to their nose
Nice.
and then a hood. So all you can really see are eyes. And I think those eyes are piercing and golden for some reason. And like almost not quite Bloodborne outfit, but like one step below in terms of maybe too much in a random
Hell
city.
yes. Go off, Queen.
As Crow sort of tilts their head and they ask, who? I'll decide if it's worth fighting.
I mean, first off, Gio has kind of got his eye on them. And there's a new player in the city that seems to be like I kind of like eye Abigail a little bit and tilt my head. Guardian Angel?
What?
Okay.
Helpful.
Tell you what, she's sort of what do you call it when someone's new in town but they used to live here a while ago?
I think at that point I'll put my arms up and I'll attempt to look at this person.
I think you're able to, but the almost as you turn, you see the aim never wavers, almost with a steel determination.
For sure. I'm getting the vibe. And I'll turn and I'll go, listen, I'm not here to eat anybody. I used to live here, and anyways, it's not important, but I'll leave, okay?
Give me a persuasion roll. One either of you.
Is that
How's your can I actually let Abigail persuade, and I'm going to I have an ability called wall that gives me an innate ability to always find an escape route.
Okay.
So I like Riley doesn't know what they're saying. Like they're just rattling off what they hear Maxine tell people once in a while and like Billie. So but they're actually just like looking around at like possible escape routes.
Yeah. Does that just like
when we
work
actually
automatically?
try to escape, I'll have to roll for it.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're immediately seeing a couple of alleys, and you know this town pretty well. You know that the city, if you get to an alley, if you find another alley, and like you can just start zagging through, and you know it well enough that you're not going to get lost, sort of running that way. You just really have to hope Crow doesn't know the city as well as you do. But Abigail, make that persuasion roll.
Do I add anything to it?
You will add, I'm gonna say heart. Yes.
Nice. I like that. I'm a fan of that. That is not bad. That is a 9.
Okay. A 9. That's almost a full success, but I think that gives me something fun to do. Okay. So, I think as they hear you, and Crow sort of goes, "All right, you owe me."
What?
Oh, you owe me. I'll come to collect when it's time. But know that your life was worth something today, and I've decided to cash in on it later.
I think I'll
About-
just, I think I'll give like a not confirmation, like a slight maybe eye roll, and start to walk away.
Yeah, I think as you walk away, as you were finally far enough away, you don't see them leave. I think by the time you like turn to like confirm that they aren't still pointing this crossbow down at you, they're already gone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you've talked your way out of it. You now owe a debt to Crow. So
I'm
make sure you mark
pissed.
that on your character sheet somewhere.
I don't like him.
I just sort of
I don't
like
like him. I don't care if everybody else thinks he's hot. I don't like him.
Crow can both be hot and a dickhead. It's okay.
I just walk. I'm gonna follow you and just like walking through like trash cans and stuff as I'm off to your side. That's probably not good. You don't want to owe him.
The fuck is that?
Kind of. Did people not like your kind in England when you were around?
Well, we stayed in the shadows. Like there were no other supers there, and humans didn't know us.
Okay.
We had other vamp enemies, but that's it.
Well, everyone kind of knows what vampires are. There was a pretty popular book and then some less popular books afterwards. So people got really good at killing.
So
Yes.
what? We're just bad?
No, I mean, no more or less than anyone else. Just they're better at killing you. And you probably don't want to owe one of them anything, but at least it was interesting. You were
So you're
pretty
telling
boring for a
me-
while.
In this city now,
Yeah.
a demon and a wolf can sit in my favorite old spot,
Mhm.
and I can't.
You don't eat.
Oh, that's actually kind of fair.
Yeah. We should
I
probably
don't
get out
know,
of this
man.
district. Didn't anyone tell you about the districts? Follow me, I'll tell you about the districts. This one's not good for vampires.
All right.
And yeah, I think there's a good spot for if everyone's ready for us to take a quick break.
Yeah.
Be sure to
Yeah.
stretch, drink a little water, take care of yourself, and we will see you in roughly 10. Take care. It's so unfortunate I can't freeze frame anymore because now I'm the one who has to
You're the
talk.
one.
Yeah.
This was an elaborate plan to get me to stop freeze framing. Anyway, we find ourselves with, I'm curious, Billie, Maxine, would either of you like the spotlight? What have you been up to in the last month?
I can do mine since Max was already busy helping Octavia.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you
Absolutely.
were doing, but I know that after I did a thorough check on the newbies and like marked the front door of their place.
I was waiting
With-
for us. We really didn't address that. I let you free
Peed
from
on our
that.
door.
Look, I spray painted the door. It's fine. Or like I did art on their door. And then I guess I went like for me, I spent the time as I always do when I'm not working at the club or whatever. Like I check in with like everybody is like, "Yo, Max, you good? Fantastic. New ladies, all right? Fantastic. Abigail's not dead yet, and Riley's around here somewhere.
And they're already dead, so
Yeah, I don't gotta worry about him. So I'm hitting up literally all the districts. I tend to stay in the night district downtown area. To try and I'm looking for somebody.
Okay, you're looking for somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've been looking for somebody for about 5 years now.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's a thing for that. Give me I will say, hit the streets is a thing you could do here.
Yeah.
And are you doing this in your circle?
Yeah, I don't like traveling too far outside the circle of the downtown area because I don't fuck with magic. Um,
Okay,
the Fae freak me out.
these are all
Humans,
valid things.
yeah,
Yeah.
humans suck. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're hitting the streets, you're generally looking for, I'll read it out. Let you seek out contacts within the city to get to help you find what you need or get what you need, whether that be, info, magic, people, all of that. So who are you looking to find here that is a point of contact for you?
Well, a point of so I'm looking for um this girl I was supposed to meet in New York. Her name is Rose. I've been looking for her for a while. So I'm trying to um see if anybody I guess like people who deal with a lot of incoming folks, which should be a dime a dozen in New York.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of informants. There's a couple of gossips. If you're specifically looking through the Night District, one of the easiest people in terms of someone you might know or at least are 1 degree removed from is Francine Schultz. She is a ghost who is a bit of a gadfly. She is maybe the nosiest person anyone has ever met or will ever meet, and Riley exists.
Yeah. I've dealt with Francine before, so I'm probably gonna go to her again and
Okay.
see if there's any update on what I've been looking for. Like I think Francine at this point is my main point of contact. It's like you got any new leads? Uh trying to find
So, um, I think generally when it comes to Francine, she can be found at a couple of places. One of the big ones is the Ghoul School, which is located in the Art District. It is sort of an unofficial spot. It is still considered a spot of the night. Um, but there is a ongoing treaty that is, if you are, going there specifically, you're fine. Fae aren't going to mess with you. And I think you've known this for a while if you've talked to Francine more than once. So yeah, you find yourself in what looks to be almost a tea house, in many senses of the word, actually. As you see, almost variety of spectral people here, sitting around, often like low tables without any chairs, often pillows or blankets. Spot Generally the vibes here are cozy. And as you look, you can see, varieties of different ghosts, some who look, completely fine, almost as if they died very peacefully in life. And then others who look like victims of crimes, is the nicest way to put it. Someone with like a knife in their back, people with various maladies, missing limbs, things of that nature. But as you like go to the front door, there is, I think, a very sprightly ghost. Sort of has, I don't want to say, I want to say art teacher vibes specifically.
okay.
Who's sort of just like, oh hi. Well, not often we run into people who have flesh all the time, but you are Billie. I know that much. I wouldn't be able to have my job here if I didn't know who everyone who walked through the door was. So I suppose you're probably looking for Francine. You tend to meet with her. Let's say this is your fourth, fifth, sixth meeting this year.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Always like to make sure. Also, this ghost name is Penny, by the way, just so you know. Well, I can pencil you in for, well, you got anything new or anything juicy? Because I might be able to get you in a little early.
Has Riley been here in like the past month?
Oh, yes.
So other than what Riley told you, no.
And almost like she takes a second and like taps like a pen to her lip. Well, except she is like translucent enough that it's just kind of going through part of her face, but she's still like it mimes the action. Hmm. Fine. I guess Riley's information is technically your information. You two are in cahoots. You're part of that whole new little island.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well.
I don't like this.
Well, since they are new people who are going to be bringing in lots of interesting stories, I'll pencil you in for right now. And then she like just immediately turns and yells, "They're here!" And like Francine just sort of apparates through like a back room, and then like reaches back to the opposite end of the door and like opens it. Come in, dear.
I appreciate it. Really. And I walk I walk in.
She gives you a little knowing look, knowing you don't. And that's fine. That's part of the fun for her. Um, and you find yourself sitting, I think, face to spectral face with Francine Schultz. She is an older woman, at least, her face resembles that of an older woman. You can see sort of clear like wrinkles and smile lines. She has a pair of like glasses that sort of sit on the tip of her nose, and her hair is in like a bun near the top of her head. And she sort of just sort of smiles and sits. What's going on today?
I checked out your last leads and they kind of got me a big old goose egg. So, I was wondering if you've got any other, potential, like if you've heard anything, got any updates, maybe on the location of who I've been, looking for.
Okay. And I think this is where we get to the hit the streets roll.
Ooh,
Roll with their circle, which is going to be night.
okay. Question.
Yes.
Does this count as in my territory? Since night is also
Yeah, I would allow it.
sweet. So I have a role that comes with the territory. If I'm actively patrolling your territory when time passes or at the start of the game, roll blood on a
Okay.
+10, blah blah blah, all the stuff.
Okay.
But it's
So
a
I
hit
mean,
the streets roll.
okay, yeah, make that roll for me then.
Cool. With blood. Wait, please don't be bad. Okay, cool. I got a 10, which means my territory is secure and I take +1 going forward when I hit the streets.
Okay.
Yay!
So yeah, now you have a +1, and when anything involving the act of hitting the streets for this will be with that +1 as well. Now, still give me that +1, or still roll hit the streets for me too, though.
Okay,
You're going to be
cool.
rolling with night because that is also Francine's circle.
Awesome. So that is 5 plus 3 on the die plus 1 as night and plus my 1 going forward. That is another 10.
Beautiful. Okay. So, I think you happen to catch her in a pretty good mood, good state of mind. She seems almost giddy, despite the fact you're like coming to her with bad news. Yeah. Okay. So you need some more leads. Almost as she's flipping through like a mental Rolodex. Yeah. So where all have you checked so far?
Well, I checked the records at City Hall. There was nothing there. Um, I uh the only place I haven't looked yet is in like the Wild District, because you know me, I don't really mess with Fae and magic stuff.
See, I had a feeling you were going to say that. No one ever mentions seeing you in the Wild District. And look, we're already here. I think you're a little afraid. I think you're really afraid, and that's interesting to me. I like to see that. It is kind of scary out here, but there's a couple of people I could point you in the right direction to in town or in this area. And unfortunately, you are going to have to talk to some fae and maybe a demon or two, but that's fine. No one's lost their soul. Okay, well, that doesn't matter in the last time someone lost their soul. But uh, I mean, you could go talk to Janine or Frederick. It's really your poison of what kind of help you want.
I if you don't mind me asking, what do you mean by that?
Okay, well, Frederick Austin Stanton. He prefers for everyone to use the full name. He's gonna tell you a lot of things that I don't necessarily hear because, you know, demons. They sort of keep a very tight knit circle.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm not saying I'm not a fan of Janine, but Janine, she kind of prints garbage. And I will tell you above the table, Frederick Austin Stanton is a sort of demonic info broker. He's had a couple of run ins with the demon, and he tends to make a deal or two. And Janine is the editor in chief of the Imp Inquirer. So she is maybe the second biggest gossip in town. So there seems to be a bit of a rivalry between her and Francine.
Lovely, fantastic. Okay.
I would recommend Frederick, but that's just because you didn't hear from me. I can't stand Janine. Can you imagine someone being that gossipy?
I live with Riley.
Riley's got nothing on Janine. Look, love Riley. Riley's got to move up in the city if they want a chance of being half as a gossip as Janine is.
I will be sure to let them know.
Good.
It's like I take a quick moment to make sure I'm not being haunted by Riley at the moment. It's like,
You're not being haunted by Riley. I will say there's at least one or two spectral faces trying to peer through the wall in like one ear. So none of those are Riley, but people are listening in on you.
okay. Well, thank you for the information and the new leads. And you want me to just refresh the flower that I put on?
Yeah. I'd love it. You know, some of those imps are getting a little too close to the window again, and you know, I don't have time to shake a broom at them all day.
Okay, so I'm gonna do my move Mark of the Beast when I mark a building with a sign or sigil, roll spirit. Which is what I did on the last building. And I got a 7. Wait, what's my spirit? It doesn't matter too much. I got an 8. Okay. So I can conceal the building's location. Okay. So I'm gonna do that.
Wonderful. And yeah, thank you, Raiders. Hello, Dorktails. You walked in on Casper as a werewolf, marking territory. So this is the great content you're getting over here.
They're just spraying everywhere.
I'm painting a picture on the door.
Listen, that's what you call peeing into white snow.
I love Billie. Okay, and I think from there we have enough time to check in with our ever lovely, ever delusional Maxine.
Yeah, I had two things that I was gonna like two things that I could do. And I think the
Yes.
one I'm gonna do is I think I want to go talk to Geo because it's been a while and we've been helping out these folks like he said we were supposed to. And he said he was gonna help me get in touch with my fiance, and I think I've done a good job, and I think I'm deserving of being able to send a bit of a letter out. So I'm gonna just waltz in, and I don't need no appointment. I've been doing a job for this man. I think I deserve a meeting with this man.
Okay. Yeah. You find yourself back at the sort of abandoned church that is Geo's main base of operation.
Hmm.
And I think almost as you bust the door open, you sort of hear him in the middle of a, well, yes, everyone, dealing with vampirism is a journey for everybody, but I understand if you have some concerns. Thankfully, we have pamphlets. And then I think that's exactly as the door gets kicked open. Oh, hello, Maxine. I'm just doing orientation.
Sorry to interrupt. When you're finished, could I have a word? I'll just be over here, minding my own business. Continue, and I'll just like step off to the side. Let him do his thing. I'll be polite, but I'm here.
I think, as you think you're being polite, there is sort of, I think there are like two like vampires here, like two fresh vampires. They're like a young couple. I want to say they're like they both look about 18, 19. As they sort of are just like kind of peering nervously at the person who walked in here with a lot of authority. Uh, it's fine, it's fine. I don't worry, I have assistants. I it seems like business might have come up, and I personally like to do orientation. It's one of the fun things about being in charge, and like almost lets out a whistle, and like this whistle's intensely sharp. Maxine, you can hear it. I think weirdly enough, if anyone else is in any other vamps are in the night district, I think you just kind of get a weird like twitch in your ear of like someone said your name but didn't. So I think we just see Abigail for a second doing whatever she's doing at that exact moment, just sort of, and we cut back. As I think we see one or two vampires fly in. Yes, well, I'm going to hand these off to you, and it seems unprofessional for me to have to do this, but I'll check back in a few days. And like sort of these two assistants also wearing the Giovanni like black and white sort of take these new employees out, or these new vampires out, and like close the door behind them. Maxine, you know I adore you, right? You know this.
Well, yes, and I do apologize for coming unannounced,
Yes,
but
it
it has been a month.
I know, but I had a sign up saying orientate. It's fine. And sort of like does like a little shake to like shake off the bad vibes of this entire ordeal. Yes, I know. Well, yeah, despite the advancement in technology, sending mail can take a while.
But how long? It's been a month.
Yes,
You
well,
haven't even asked me what I wanted to say. We haven't even started that process yet. How am I supposed to write a letter if you don't know what I want to say to him?
You're right. How short-sighted of me. It's been a long month. It's been very busy. I know with the new vampires coming in, it's caused a lot of not political upheaval, but it's a lot of extra meetings.
Well,
Is there I need to know if there's a bullshit roll.
It's probably still persuade.
Yeah, I will say if you would like to roll to see how honest that is, you can absolutely do so.
Figure someone else is she.
I would say you could roll figure someone out.
okay.
If you wanted to see
Figure someone out.
how honest
Try to
that
figure someone out.
conversation is.
Roll with mind. Okay. Hold the phone. My mind is 0.
You don't say.
Yeah. that mean I don't roll, or do I just not add anything to
You
this
don't have
roll?
anything to
Okay.
add to it.
How
So
am I-
it's just 2, and then I don't add anything.
How am I
Okay.
dumber than Maxine?
Oh boy. Okay, so that was a 2. I
Very
think I
good.
believe him.
Okay, so with the
I'm
two,
like, okay, I get it. Yes,
yeah,
you've been
no,
really
I mean,
busy.
like, you've seen how stressed, weirdly enough, the second you walked in, you immediately seen how stressed Gio was. So Gio's working really hard. You know, it's not
Mm.
easy being one of the big vamps in the city. Eh, Um, and you know, almost
I'm
as like
I'm
you are
really
expressing
I'm really glad that we could help just take a little bit off your plate, but I'm just really hoping that we could move things along here. I just really want to know what he's been up to and why it's taken so long for him to come back.
I will say you can ask one question. Thank you, Kelly, for keeping me honest. So you can't, because you are part of the same circle, you can ask one question.
Hmm.
If there's any that seem pressing to you in this exact moment. If not, you can hold it till later on in this conversation.
I think
Yeah,
they
I
also
think
figure
I'll
something out about Maxine as well on that much of a fail.
Yeah. I mean, what does he want to know? Oh,
I don't think he necessarily has
We can-
anything to
I'm pretty
ask
much-
about quite yet. I think
Yeah.
the opportunity, if the opportunity presents itself, he
Yeah.
will start asking some questions of you
For
too.
sure. The last time I heard from him, he said I needed to make something of myself in this city, and I feel like now that I've met you and all these other peoples, and I've been helping him out, I feel like I've been making moves, and I feel like I should get at least some acknowledgement, you know?
You are in fact right, and I mean you have been working with the IOU, and that name does seem to at least carry a little bit of weight to Dracula. So
That's what I'm
I
saying.
yes, we can get to working on that letter, but I do want to ask, do you feel like you've done enough for Dracula to necessarily be ready to come back here? Have you built enough of a life for Dracula to and like you can see almost the turning of the gears of like how can I bullshit this some more?
How can you manipulate me into letting this go?
Yeah. I mean, have you built enough for yourself here that Dracula can, you know, find you a partner equal to
His
his stature?
bajillion other wives.
Exactly. Don't you want to be the best wife out there?
Well, yeah. I mean, I tried to do the vaudeville thing, and then, well, that didn't work out very well, now did it? I just feel like there's nothing in this city that's really full of vamps, you know? We always get we're always with the others, but I don't know. It just feels like it's hard to make my mark, and I felt like this was it, you know? This was it. I just don't know.
That I
How can I
know.
make that's my question. How do you think I can make my mark in this city, Geo?
Geo, I think, has a face of realizing I thought this was gonna get you off my back,
No,
and
I'm
then
mad attached.
you're now
I'm just
asking
like,
me for
please help.
business. Well, I mean, in terms of things, you know, after the book came out about your beloved, it made things a bit more tense for us. I will admit, things are a bit harder for us out there. The humans are really dedicated to fighting us specifically. I don't
I
think
know. Tell
the
me about
werewolves
it. I
don't get
got
nearly
attacked
enough.
the other month. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we could stand to have a place for us.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, maybe we could have our own little establishment. I remember one of the off letters I got from my lovely family across the sea. They mentioned having a place called the Feeding Pit or something, some sort of vampire eatery. So, I mean, that's an idea. They seemed like it was a place that conducted a lot of business.
Wow. I never thought of that before. That's
It's
a
it's
really good idea. Wow. Thanks, Geo.
yes, of course. And you know, maybe the fact that you're not necessarily dealing in alcohol means you probably won't run afoul of the wolves, but
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just got a great idea.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah. What if? Picture this, Geo. I kind of like pull him close. I'm like, picture this. What if we have our own establishment, but on top of it, is like a normal human one, and then we can like get them to come downstairs and hang out with us, and then we get free meals out of it. Or not free meals, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Easy meals.
Okay. Okay.
Seems like,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. And like there is, I think even if Maxine can't see it, the camera can. There is a mix of like indulging this idea, but also like this isn't a bad idea actually.
Yeah.
And sort of like, okay, you know what? I'm on good terms with the werewolves. You know, we've helped a decent amount in sort of the speakeasy thing. I can probably get us some sort of contracts. Give me this is gonna. I know you've heard this a million times from me. Give me a few weeks, and I should be able to get
that's better than a full month. A few weeks
exactly.
is better.
Give me a few weeks, and I should be able to have an establishment ready for you. At least somewhere that's has a lot of humans in it. In terms of advertising and everything else, that's going to take a bit longer, but we can at least get a building secured. And I'll tell you what, because you have been such a good sport, this one's on me, and I think you have
Oh,
essentially had the equivalent of a favor
okay.
used from Geo because you have worked and done a lot of solid work for Geo.
Okay. Thank
But
you, Geo.
yeah, of course. I mean, you are. Oh, without you are the closest thing to a Giovanni without the outfit.
Oh, you're just saying that.
Would I just say things?
Maybe. Just a little bit.
Guilty as charged, and like does a little playful like shove and like tap on your arm. Well, I suppose I should check in with those new vampires and start getting some business deals worked out. But it's a good idea.
I'm glad we had this talk. Thank you for
Yeah.
hearing me out.
Of course, of course. What's going to be the entertainment? Or is it just a place for eating?
Let me do some digging. I'll figure something out.
Okay. And this is your project now. I am simply here to help bankroll it. So if, let's say hypothetically, it goes wrong, and I don't want to wish bad intentions on the world, but if it happens to go wrong, that will fall unto you.
I wouldn't throw you under the bus. It's okay. I got this.
Okay. I'll get some contracts drafted up. I'll have the demons look at it. They tend to be very litigious.
Okay. Bye-bye. I'll just leave. A little more pep in my step as I'm leaving.
Okay. And I think as we find ourselves at the end of this at the end of this month, we find ourselves back where this episode began. As the sun sets, it has been 1 month since your misadventures, and there's been many things we have seen and many things we have not seen, relationships that have been forged, debts and favors owed. But I do want to give you all a chance to sort of talk amongst yourselves back at the IOU to discuss what you've all been up to.
God, the IOU. Our little IOU. Hell yeah.
It's a weird
Such a
name.
funny name you guys have. It's so cute.
I redo the mark on the door that I left because it only lasts for a few days. I've been doing it once every week, and today is the day that I'm just like.
I will say for those, unless they are ever in a moment of crisis, they're a 10 for you. I'm not gonna have you roll to do it every time unless you want to.
No, I like the idea that some days that I'm actually really trying to make this a safe place, and the other ones I'm just like, meh, it's fine.
Okay.
Like, nobody followed us.
Like, wait, where did that line go again?
Today?
I think it goes like this. Probably like this.
Yeah.
If it's
at least in this first month, you haven't made any enemies yet.
Yeah.
If people are like if it's like near the end of the day, quote unquote, like people are gonna be drifting off soon, I think Riley is like sitting, quote unquote, in one of the like fancy British chairs that someone set up in this place. And even in their like corporeal form, there's like black ichor dripping out of their mouth, and they seem sort of like out of it. Like it takes them a second to focus on anything. And he's just eyeing up Octavia with a little mistrust.
I got an 8, so I can only do one of the things. And I'm gonna conceal the building's location.
Okay.
I'm
Oh, go for it.
I'm filling out my notebook with all of the new people that I've potentially met over the month. Assuming and other people that have told me. So I'm assuming like Stella the Oracle, I've written in my book kind of what I believe the description is in a little sketch. Geo, of course. And then the last one is gonna say Crow, and then it says a jerk, stupid face, golden eyes, a butt. And I'm not gonna draw his face because I'm mad at him.
I also haven't seen his face, so.
I turned around a little bit, but he's got eyes. You know what I mean?
You've seen
Stupid
eyes.
face.
Mask and eyes.
Crow's eyes and pronouns
Stupid.
or Crow's face and pronouns are both question mark at the moment.
Mm.
Yeah, and also like a turd emoji. That's how Abigail's handling this.
Thank you.
Very childish.
I imagine every time you've talked about Crow, she's like, "Yeah, stupid, ugly, shining eyes," and then like everyone else like, you
Wow,
know,
that's
this
kinda
person
hot.
has
Yeah.
very cool vibes, actually.
Yeah, whatever.
She's-
Will, he's got a smelly butt, so whatever.
But yes.
I think I tell everyone what happened to me. Like, just like as soon as I get in, I'm like, you will not believe the day I've had. And then I just go and start rambling like, about everything. So y'all know exactly what happened.
And I'm just like, you did what? You're starting a bar?
Yeah, I don't know where yet though. But I feel like it'll be really nice for vampires to kind of have a place they feel a little bit more welcome. Like, not that I don't feel welcome when I go to your places, but like I feel like they don't really like me that much.
Yeah,
You know,
I
feel
mean,
like I'm just kind of there.
Abigail almost got herself killed, so having a place
Wait,
to hang
what?
out might be okay.
Do you think for a second I couldn't have taken that stupid little poo-poo face?
No.
Yeah,
Which
no.
I could take. I got a crossbow.
Abigail.
You have a gun. Why you got? I have a gun. I shoot him real bad in the face.
You must be
Do
more
bullets
careful.
work on Crow?
Oh, it was Crow. Oh, they're a
Mm.
dreamboat. Those
What?
golden eyes. Oh,
I don't
they
know.
can shoot me any day.
I mean, I get what you're saying, Abigail, but I don't know if bullets actually work on the guy.
I have a question for Riley.
Yeah?
You mentioned you were sort of given a look at Octavia.
Mm-hmm.
Is this look obvious enough in a way that they would be able, or she would be able to feel it?
I
Or
think so. Yeah, I think it depends how we're gonna play this. Do you think that Octavia being so in tune with the spirits can pick up on my aura, as being
I
a
will say,
ghost?
if you're trying to hide that aura, especially ones that are directed
I think
at
Riley's too fucked up right now to be able to hide any aura.
her, okay, then yeah, I will say
Mm.
generally if you want to try to hide it from like Octavia in particular, I think in the future I'll have you roll a keep cool.
All right.
But yeah, if
There's a-
that's what you want to roll in this moment, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say that there's a real negative aura coming from Riley towards Octavia.
I'll approach you for sure. Prophet will come with me. It will lead me towards you. And I stop just a few feet away from you and I say, Riley, I'm sensing you seem troubled, my friend, and I would love to assist you in any way that I could.
I'm real talkative now, so I don't know if that's a good time, but why do you have that thing? The crystal.
My dog?
No, the dog's fine. He smells good. No,
He does.
you have that ruby. You know.
Oh, my ghost buster.
Yeah, that's the one.
And as I say it,
Yeah, that's not a great name. It's a bit upsetting to some folk.
Well, it's funny you should ask. I being that I was an investigator of the occult and unusual, I came across many spirits, specters, and other sorts of.
And your first inclination was hostility?
No, that is never my first inclination. I do like to have a wide arsenal of tools available to me for
Okay.
any sort
Arsenal is an interesting term.
It is, isn't it? Quite fun to say, arsenal.
Arsenal.
But I only use my Ghostbuster on either spirits who request to be transported elsewhere, or for those who are being quite a nuisance to the rightful, I don't want to say owners of an establishment, but you do get the idea.
Are you telling me to leave?
No, I'm not using it at you. I feel like we've gotten off on the wrong.
Is there
foot.
anyone in it right now?
I honestly, Octavia just like forgot.
Is there someone in it?
A lot has gone on, and I
She
reached
just got
down
a guy in there?
to it.
You got a dude in there?
I reached down and I hold it. No, it's empty. I knew it was empty. I just had to double check.
Okay.
Okay. I just think it's real fucked up. Is all.
I won't use it on you, Riley, unless you require these sorts of services.
Okay. I don't know if I will.
Are you all right?
I'm
Are you
fine.
intoxicated?
No. Yeah.
It's just I'm so sorry to be so blunt, but there's something drawing you out to me in a very distinct way, very different than other times that we've conversed.
I don't like that you can sense that. We need to set some boundaries, I think.
Of course.
You're gonna tell me about your ghost stuff, right? You're not gonna keep it secret anymore?
No, we're a team. Part of the IOU. You're part of the IOU now.
Okay. And I think, like, as Riley's, like, talking and coming to terms with this, like, their chest starts to, like, elevate into the air, and then after a while, they're just sort of, like, hanging in midair as, like, black ichor is, like, dripping onto the ground, and they just go, like, full catatonic.
That's my cue to go to bed.
Good night.
I think as everyone starts going to bed, in the background of all of this, Peter, Octavia's father, and Leon have been sort of getting familiar with the music scene. Here, I think that is what Leon's month has been, is just kind of doing a deep dive on the culture, trying to figure it all out. So I think you see them sort of going through a box of different like records almost, and going through like different music. And then there's one that Leon finds. It's like, this one feels new. Have anyone here seen this one? And it is a black case that is unremarkable in every way, but just has a simple record in it. And it's the one that they haven't played yet. And as they begin to play it, the music sort of drones on and on for a second before you begin to hear, well, if you're hearing this, I'm in the city, which you could probably have guessed, but someone's probably got me. There was a lot of downtime until you showed up, so I'm probably alive. I'm very hard to kill, but I am probably going to need you to do your best investigating to find exactly where I'm at.
Dad.
And Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think
who-
from there, the music just returns to normal.
what the heck was that?
Marguerite, we have to find her.
Yeah, it's this lady, person, thing, being. I don't really know what she's all about, but
Oh,
she
she's one of
cool.
them. Okay.
Oh, hey, Abigail, just
Yeah.
for future, like, since you're not in just a all vampire world, referring to folks as things is not cool.
Well, what do I say as a general term? Can you give me something? Oh,
Yeah.
Like
well,
being. That was a
oh,
good
Yeah,
one.
being with
Did I
white
say that?
creature.
You said
yeah.
being, and then
I
you
missed
ended
it.
it with
Okay,
thing,
okay.
and then it kind of downed the whole thing.
All right.
Yeah,
right,
just
right.
don't call people things is
Alright.
pretty much.
We are not
It's like
property.
don't say it. Like
What
don't
if I
call
say-
them an it unless they identify like that. You know.
What if it's like bang? How do you feel about
That's
that?
And
different,
on
though.
that, and on that sort of discussion on how to address personhood in the city, I think once again, we see this organization time stand still. And we see Marguerite there once again. You're like, I keep telling you, it's been a while. You're not gonna figure it out. And I have people looking. I can just feel it. I just got a vibe. And that's where we'll end today's episode.
Yay!
I'll save you. We'll save you.
Gonna save you,
I don't
baby.
know you like that,
The
so
hunt for Marguerite continues.
But yeah, I still don't have an ending just built yet for me personally. We'll get there. We'll find it in the edit. I just want to thank you all for listening, for being here. I want to thank my lovely players for helping bring this world and this city to life. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. We will be doing something a little special in 2 weeks from now, though. Just
Woohoo!
stay tuned for the news. And take care.
Oh, I should do housekeeping though.
Yeah.
Hold
Oh,
on.
shit. There we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hold on. I was like, wait, there's things. You should definitely go and check out Patreon because that's cool. It's patreon.com/tabletop titties because that's where you can support us if you had a good time tonight. We have a bunch of stuff like the after show that we record after all of our main shows and we talk about what just happened and it's super fun and cool. We get bonus episodes up there and stuff, and we get polls that can affect the games. Bunch of cool, awesome things. You should go check it out. Like I said before, go check out our merch store, tabletoptitties.threadless.com, because it's super cool. You should also go follow us on social media, because those cool announcements that are happening soon, we'll post them there as well. So you should definitely keep tabs on all of that. Make sure you're following all of the social medias. And you can also find all of this information out on our website at tabletoptitties.com. And when we say titties, it is with double D's. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.